Hello and welcome back to the Jaking Off Show. I am your host, Jake Bassey. My heating and electric bill is going to cost me $179,000 this month because I decided to keep the power on, thank the gods. But I kept the heater on the entire time, and that spiked up my bill tremendously. And it's a lot of money, but thankfully Grandpa Biden came through with the unemployment. So you know what? It's worth every penny. It's worth every penny because you know what? Texas has frozen over and it's all fucked and the planet's fucked. The planet is mad at us and it's time for the purge. We need more death, more suffering, more pain and more injustice and more chaos. Bring it. This has been a slow burn of an apocalypse. We are now in the Snowvid-19 era, and that's going away. The snow locked down the state of Oklahoma better than the governor could during the first lockdown of COVID. I was here the first week of the lockdown where my cousin strapped a gun to her hip, and she went to me and said, "Hey, we're going to go shopping." We're going to go shopping with a Desert Eagle attached to your hip? Why? We're just getting groceries. Well, it turns out it was the great toilet paper hoard, if some of you remember. And I'm calling this episode Snowvid-19 because Joe Rogan and Tim Dillon already took Snowpocalypse. And I was going to use the same name had I recorded earlier, but I got sad. And some of you have noticed that when I don't do episodes every week, that means I'm sad. That means I'm a little sad boy, and I have depression naps, and I just sleep through the whole blizzard. And that's the only time in my life so far where I can afford to sleep all day and do nothing and get paid to stay home. And you know what? I'll take the money. I don't care. I don't care. Give me the money. Is it going to be taxed and I have to pay half of it back? Sure, I can do that because I'm hoarding half of it in my savings account right now. I'm fine. I'm fine. And I am expecting it to get worse. There's more variants. The vaccine rollout is slow because of the Snowvid-19. And you know what? Good. Good. But also not good because this Chinese water torture of an Armageddon is making me impatient. And it's just not happening quick enough. I want more chaos. I want more death. I want more suffering. I really mean that because we've had it way too good for way too long. And we are not going back to the before times anytime soon. We're not. I moved. I got out of LA because something didn't smell right. I didn't want to be in that. But if I end up being taken out from the virus or black ice or whatever it is, fine. I'll take it. So I'm just going to keep doing what I like doing, and whatever happens, happens. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. There's no future. I say this a lot. There's no future because every day I wake up, it's still the present. Fuck it. Fuck it. And obviously there's no guest today because of the Snowvid-19. And it's not because of just that. I also don't want to bother people by wasting their time to be on this nothing podcast that hardly anyone cares about. Hi, Mom. But I get very discouraged from the analytics. Yes, I should be having more of an online presence. Yes, I should use social media more. Yes, I should network better. But you know what, man? I'm a nervous person. And every guest that's been on the podcast, I've thought about having them on in my head for quite some time. And I just don't grow the balls to ask because I'm fucking scared. Just to, have people in my house and ask them questions and talk to them and all that. That's very difficult for me. It takes almost all of my energy to maintain eye contact and hang out with people because of the autism. Yeah, I didn't really talk about that on the Daniel Healy podcast that I was on a couple of weeks ago before the Snowvid-19. If you want to check out that episode and get to know me a little bit better on a more relaxed level, I talked about my origins in stand-up comedy, taking 12 years off, confirming in my own brain that stand-up is my destiny and that I am meant to do this. Check that out. Check it out in the description. Check out that episode and subscribe to the heleycast. This guy, he's got a much better podcast studio than I have. I'm working with the bare bones. He has an actual thing going. I have more subscribers than him, but also I've been doing it longer, and that makes perfect sense, but it's not going to grow much because I'm not good at this. I'm not good at this. And I've been debating in my mind whether or not to start a TikTok. TikTok. I'm 30 years old. Do I really want to be in the same competition as teenagers that are going to dance their way into the end of times? Do I want to do that? SAG just did another influencer contract where now these TikTok influencers, whatever that means, can get roles in film and television because they're viral. They're TikTok famous. It's a popularity contest. So I have a theater degree. It took me 4 years to get, wasted 4 years of my life, and over $100,000 of debt that I'm in. And I'm only paying that off chip by chip, inch by inch, because I am a poor. And I have the theater training. I know how to project my voice into a large crowd, which that's not going to happen anytime soon. I know how to fight with a sword. I know stage combat. I am very capable of playing a character, memorizing the lines, and being the emotional instrument. I get acting stuff here and there, and that's cool. That's fun. It's a good time. But I don't look like my headshot anymore, and I either have to change my headshot and keep the scraggly, homeless-looking beard. And the reason why I still have the beard is because it's cold and it keeps me insulated and warm during the Snowvid-19. And these influencers have an easier in on getting prominent roles in film and television because they have 100,000 followers on TikTok. Do people that peruse through TikTok honestly watch television and film as well? No, they don't. It's all on the phone. Apple TV, Tubi, YouTube, it's all on there. Hollywood is trying to catch up with the viral thing, and it's going to die. And I know this. I'm betting on this, that it's going to die. And every single famous celebrity now has their own podcast, has their own thing, and their fans are just going to listen to them because all they want to do is get to know them as the person. So they're idolized even more. And movies are fake. They're not real. People want real now. And whether that's minute-long clips of teenagers TikTok dancing into Armageddon, I got a little bit of pressure because I asked my little online community, should I get a TikTok and do my rants on there? I could, but there's a problem. TikTok is owned by a Chinese communist country that collects your face data and monetizes that, and we're in bed with these people. Do I want my face on TikTok? No. Do I get to edit my rants the way I want to on TikTok? No. Do I have a higher chance of going viral? Yes, I do. But I don't want to do it. It just seems like another monumental waste of time. Me doing this podcast, as some would think, is a monumental waste of time. Because all of my friends don't listen to podcasts. I got 3 downloads on the last Spotify episode. And I think part of that is because I have now moved the platform to video as well, where I guess my small little community would rather look at my face and also listen to me bullshitting my way through this thing called life. This thing called stand-up. Every guest I've had on recently has been a comic, and I love talking about comedy with other guests. And it's great. I don't do these as much as I should. I should be more consistent. And despite being sad and despite taking the depression naps, I should do it anyway. And there's also too much rage going on in my heart. I was not prepared for this winter at all. I do not have gloves. I do not have a shovel to shovel my car out of a spot. I did a show in Tulsa yesterday. Great fucking show. It was my first road gig, and I got paid. I'm not going to say how much, but it was better than nothing. Let me just say that. And I knew that coming out of that parking spot where my car was sitting for the whole storm, I knew I was going to lose that spot. And I drove around the property of which I lived and found any open spot. And I can't see where the fucking lines are. I know I double parked. But the snow is melting, and once it's melted, I will make another trip to the grocery store, and I will park correctly. And I also make sure to take all the snow off my car. There were people driving around with snow on the top of their car, and it falls off, and it lands on the car behind them, which could cause a hazard. And the roads in Oklahoma are not good. It's very bumpy. I was very concerned about my tires throughout the whole drive to Tulsa. Very concerned about it. But luckily, I gave fellow comedian Lenny Van Horn, who was headlining the show, a lift because he had some car trouble and he didn't think his truck was going to make it. And you know what? Hey, we'll save a parking spot. And we did the show, and it was a good time. And we had a nice car conversation, spitting game about the comedy. It was basically the podcast that you guys didn't get to hear because we just talked about comedy the entire time, and we talked about music, and we talked about the absurdity of politics and sports and what's going on in the world and all that shit. It was a good time, and you guys are never gonna hear it. And maybe I'll have Lenny on here and we can chat sometime. But maybe if I just wasn't so goddamn reluctant, because people have their own lives. I'm also asking people for their time. And one's time is valuable. Some people have kids to take care of. Some people have jobs. I'm unemployed. I am a loser that is not employed, that is somehow able to survive through the pandemic thanks to the United States government. Thank you, COVID. Thanks, Daddy Trump. Thanks, Grandpa Biden. I really appreciate it that you're making guys like me that don't have a life worth living to trudge along and follow my dreams. And my dreams are basically fruitless. But I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep going. And I'm just going to do what I like doing because I can. I didn't have the time to do this otherwise. brief moment while I take a sip of water. More blood of the innocent. Ah. I bought extra waters in case my pipes froze. They did not, thankfully. I have run minimal appliances. I only have a light on, and I had the heat going, which probably is a mistake, but fuck it. Grandpa Biden's paying for it. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. But I also haven't done my rants weekly. The last one was just after my 30th birthday. Thanks to none of you that contributed to the Patreon on my birthday. Fuck you all. But also unfuck you all who have been contributing. Thank you, Rachel Carlson, for your donation. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Luke Bassey, my brother, for your donation. Really appreciate it. And thank you, Tina Wapple, for your donation. Really appreciate it. You guys can donate once and opt out. That's fine. You can keep the monthly donations going. I understand if you want to opt out because I haven't been consistent with my rants nor the podcast. And I totally understand if you want to dip out. That's on me. I understand. I do have the next rant written right here. And the next rant is about the ulcerative colitis. Low-hanging fruit, shit jokes. The stuff I don't really talk about a whole lot because I like shit jokes as much as the next guy. But I don't do this type of material on stage because people are eating and drinking. And I don't want to hear that stuff when I'm eating or drinking. Why would I want to talk about my bowel movements on stage while someone's trying to enjoy finger food? That's not me. But it is something that I'm going to rant about coming up. And I don't think I'm going to film it from inside my car because it's just, it was just too fucking cold. And I think I'm going to film that rant from here. And I'm going to do that and see if that does a little better than some of them. I am getting a little better at the editing process. And a lot of my friends are going, you should get on TikTok. You might go viral. And that is the secret goal in my head, is to go viral and expand my audience. That is something I want to do. But the means of doing it are in a way I don't agree with. I don't want to be on a Chinese communist-run company that collects your face data. I don't want that. However, there are some folks that make money off TikTok. I have sponsors now. I now have a sponsor for my podcast, and that's great. But it's commission-based. The few people that do watch or listen aren't going to buy this stuff. I'm sponsored by Phoenix Fit, a vitamin supplement company. Supplements. How multi-level marketing is that? Like, that is such a multi-level marketing Cutco thing. But I do actually use the stuff. I have the immune booster, and I just got the turmeric gummies, which is really good for inflammation. If you work out a lot and then you're sore the next day, you can use the turmeric and use that. But I don't use it for that reason because obviously I don't work out, or I haven't been working out anymore since before the pandemic. I had to revoke my gym membership because I couldn't go to the gym. And then I moved. And then I terminated my membership with Peak Performance Recovery. I miss that place. I really do. I did cryotherapy once a month. I was paying a pretty penny for it, but it was worth it. I was getting in shape. The cryotherapy helps with inflammation and all my problems that I have, because the inflammation is in my gut. I don't shit right. It's not good, and these gummies have helped tremendously with that. And if you guys want to partake in vitamin supplements, because it's really important right now, you should definitely go to my sponsor in the link below, phoenixfit.com. Peruse through it. They got whey protein. They got vegan protein if you're into that. They have BCAA vitamin supplements. They've got merch and stuff too. And if you use the promo code JAKEOFF, you'll get 15% off. It'll support the podcast a little bit because it is commission based. And if this is stuff that you buy often, you'll be helping yourself, you'll be helping me, and everybody wins, right? The 15% off it, basically you're going to get free shipping. Shipping's expensive. It's a bitch, really. But you should buy the stuff. I actually use the stuff, so it's not like I'm promoting products that I'll never use, So there's that. I think I'm just going to cut it here and just keep it short this time around because I don't prepare for these. I should write down my topics so I can rant, and that is a lesson that I'm going to learn. This has been a shorter episode of the Jaking Off Show, and that's it, and that's that. I survived the Snowvid-19, did a good road gig, and I'm gonna try again. I am sorry that I failed you. Okay, thanks. Bye.